Hey everyone, welcome back to the Southeast Asia Closed Qualifiers for ESL Pro League Season 8. It is now time for our final map of the day, and we thought that this series was going to be a potentially close one. We weren't really sure how things were going to go between these two teams, and I guess to an extent it has been close. We're at one apiece. First map was 16-14. Definitely has been something to look at as to how it's played out.
Yeah, if you want to watch good Counter-Strike in terms of CT side, I guess you can watch these games. If you want to see how T sides aren't meant to work out, I guess you can watch this game as well. Because, I mean, we're jumping onto Nuke at the moment. I think we are going to be jumping into a storm. I don't know how to describe it in PG terms once again. It's not going to be pleasant to watch. It's going to be messy. It's going to be scrappy. A lot of entertaining moments. Not the best Counter-Strike, but hey, it's going to be entertaining. Maybe
an easy way for us to show how this map might play out is to have a look at the Betway odds, because the bettors are always right, Kevin. And FrostFire this time not necessarily favoured, 1.74.
I'd say I agree with the Betway odds most of the time, but I disagree with saying the bettors are always right, because that is a slippery slope I do not want to be going down.
No, definitely not. But I think that's fairly reasonable. Be very interesting to know if the odds changed based on how the knife
T side actually looks really good.
Like 10 rounds on the T side of Nuke.
They get like 13-2 on the T side of Nuke, and they go on the CT side and look dismal, and I just go, wow, okay, my entire understanding of Counter-Strike has been flipped upside down.
Yeah, could happen.
It could definitely happen.
It's the beauty Asian Counter-Strike, anything can happen.
It's the beauty of, not only is it Asian Counter-Strike where obviously there's a lot more unknown variables, but also it's online as well. So it's not as consistent as, say, for example, you play in a LAN environment where you know there's a lot more consistencies you can place in results. This is the online environment. There can be so many variables on the day.
Yeah, and we've already seen so many variables throughout today. Like we've seen Archap in the first half of Train going absolutely ballistic.
28
and then
kills on the CT
second
side.
half it was Wits, and I think Wits really did well in the first half of Mirage there as well. Particularly even more. Aiming.
He gets 4 kills!
4 kills. All right, FrostFire.
Give him another one. Yes.
Yeah, it's not
Give him the third one. Yes. Papachulo. Stab your teammates to make up for the fact you couldn't win it for them.
Yeah. If you even get the pistol and get the 3 rounds,
himself at the moment has to find his a little bit longer as well, because the bomb now lost near Hut. Devi as well as Chapman fast on the hunt round. All of a sudden, Archap.
well, there you go.
Papachulo and Wits.
Good start for TNC.
We're talking about the two that needed to frag, or were traditionally known as the bigger fraggers for the team. Definitely stepping up in the pistol round, 3 and 2 apiece. And FrostFire going to be forcing up into this. Iman has a MP5, no armor.
That's peculiar. Oh, backing himself. I guess.
So
What a weird buy from FrostFire.
So is Papachulo. He's just going straight in. Kenzie able to get the kill. He's dinked out. He's still alive.
What a peculiar round. Kenzie needs to be a little careful because he is a one-shot, just spamming through that smoke. You wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of shots headed back in his direction. Isn't going to impact anything for now. TNC have started off well in this anti-eco.
I think Omen's actually made it a bit of a journey into the lobby, and I don't think Borkum is watching the same direction, so Borkum might be coming around now as Iman's actually clearing out trophies. So, like 2 ships passing in the night. No one knows what's just happened, but Papachulo, he knows what's going on at the moment. He's going, I kill, I carry. And everyone's going, okay.
Yeah, why didn't you do that in the knife round? That's what everyone else is saying.
Oh,
that's what I would be saying.
Low blow.
He's like, yeah, boys, I got this, don't worry. I would just say, what about that knife round? We could be on CT side right now. Hey, who knows? Maybe it won't matter. Maybe TNC actually does have a good T side here on Nuke.
Don't worry, if TNC win, I will scream the Filipino war cry.
Which is?
Lakad Matata.
I don't know what that means.
Charge strong, my dear friends. Charge strong.
Huh.
Also known as the voice line that was used the most in TI8 by the winning team.
There you go.
It was like is that a compilation of like 1 minute from the Filipino casters? It was an entire collection of voice lines, which are absolutely amazing, and they actually put into the actual Dota game. Huh. Imagine that. You said something so cool, Jordan, one of these days, that you're actually in the game. So when something sick happens, a player can press a button, and then your voice can be heard by everyone.
I'd like that.
It's like, you know those memorable moments when the happy ace deagle at Inferno.
Yep.
Imagine you could hear that and you could just play that. That's what voice lines are like in Dota. Oh, Dupree, sweating bullets right now. Can't do it full of justice. It was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely not. Okay. Another eco for FrostFire. Galil for Archap save through, but how much is that going to really help FrostFire at this point?
Could do a little bit of damage, and she can keep it forward for the next round as well, because he does have body armor and helmet.
TNC once more retaking control of Outer.
Big weakness in lobby though, which makes me a little bit worried later on when FrostFire may push in. See, Archer actually getting 1 kill with that Galil. He's still alive, dancing around, but Papachulo alongside with the rest of the boys. Kenzie as well so far, off to a great start on Nuke, able to get quite a few of these entries.
Indeed. And still TNC, so static.
Don't really losing any more guns, which I go fair enough, but
it's one guy with a USP though.
You don't know if he has a USP or not.
I don't, but I suspect at best he has a P250.
Really, the best way of winning at the end of the day is letting an enemy get nervous and come towards you. Why bother hunting 300 unknown locations when you can watch 4 important locations and secure, just get the net, secure the kill?
Yep.
So FrostFire actually prioritizing utility over the firepower, and some of their members didn't have enough cash and subbies as well as Chapman. But TNC got a lot of money, a lot of cash to work with. Wits gonna be tagging Kenzie down to 82. That could be proving costly. That's actually in the headshot territory now, the M4, and at close range, definitely in the headshot territory of the FAMAS as well.
Ooh, the grenade is going to do a little bit more damage as well. Kenzie and Papachulo tagged up a bit. TNC this time, well, you spoke about radio control, or lobby control rather. You have a lot of that. Not much else.
I mean, they've just taken ramps. There's no one else there. They've just had to give it an up because they didn't have the fighting power there. Omen decides just to fall back, and he's going to be blinded off the angle. Can't be falling into a one-and-done position like that. That's one of the critical M4s lost as well. Rest of TNC, this is actually, I mean, it's good how they took ramp control, but the problem is they don't have anything beyond trophy. They still don't maintain lobby control, and to get into heaven is really difficult. And subbies, you can see, pushing into hut, making sure that, at the very least, he can spot out what's going on. Might be a wrap onto the A bomb side, but I was also saying Subby's in a position to do some damage, but Pro is going to lose the bomb.
No one's gone to collect it here for TNC. I mean, there is time, to be fair. Chapman just completely caught off. No one is watching Squeaky right now. He's thinking, who is going to try and help me out? And that's all falling apart for FrostFire.
Of course, there's Borkham coming in, just getting the impact when needed. Did I ever doubt it? It's TNC. You've got Wits, who's just mad fragger. I would even dare say the Filipino version of Greatest Faction. He's been performing quite well so far. Then you got Papachulo, who's just coming out, banging heads off. And then you got Borkham, who's just consistent in the rounds that you need to be. And he's just throwing the right molars as well.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't hold the gun out for long enough, so our chap's able to get it out alive, but still.
Oh, our chap's going to get 2. Borkham just making sure he's actually dead. TNC will find a 4th round on the T side here, though, and most likely a 5th. This could not have gone worse, really, for FrostFire.
Could have got any better for TNC, to be honest. So I was talking about earlier, like you were suspecting that, all right, CT sides have been doing well historically so far this entire day. As a matter of fact, on the T side so far, how many rounds have he won over 2 maps?
Probably... How many did they win on train? 2? 3? 2, I think it was.
Yeah, TNC won 2 on train, then FrostFire won 2 on Mirage, and then 3 to secure the map victory for both. So only 10 rounds have been won so far. That's pretty sharp from the CZ from Hyman.
Yeah. TNC don't want to throw this round away. It's probably one of the freest that they should get here on Nuke, on their T side.
Not an easy one still, but looks like the AK-47 is just holding that distance, holding the line.
Long range with the USP. I guess that's kind of how you want to play with it. Just tap it away, but realistically not enough damage to be done from the USP. While it was a good start for FrostFire, there hasn't been enough consolidation of that first initial frag.
Yeah, it just seems like a bit of a same old, but the bomb does need to start making a bit of a move on. So Pro's going to get dinked out, but once again, it's only, might have been a P250, might have been something else, and our chap, with the 5-7, has a long way to go back up, so he's going to try and find this angle around Kenzie and try to steal the AK-47 off him. He's in the position to do so as well, so now is not in the position to do so. Is dead.
Unfortunately runs into one of the high HP players. And so TNC 5-0. FrostFire can get a buy through.
Got the AWP in the hands to Divide, but we need to start seeing some impact. Haven't been too particularly impressed so far.
Yeah, I don't think Divide was quite as good as what we've seen from Wits.
What are TNC going to be throwing this time around? They've been splitting up, taking out his control, taking it slow, that they have shown the dispensity just to go fast like this. They're just straight out. Aim duels won't allow the AWP to get into position if they just take the aim duels, and Subby is trying to dance around right now, but just too many angles to be checking out, and a bomb site now going to be taken for control, and Chapman, I mean, our chap does manage to chime in just at the right time as well. How is he able to get there? It doesn't matter how he got there. He picks up 3. Finally, FrostFire pick up their first round.
Thought for sure TNT was going to win that round based on how the initial trades did go, but like you say, Archer just in time with the 2-man spray down, putting in good work. FrostFire will win their first round here on Nuke. 1-5, TNC with another buy through. Money's still pretty good for them. If they get a bomb down here, maybe 1 or 2 guns taken through. TNC can buy. Oh, Puppy Chulo, did he spot Archap there? I thought that he did. I mean, he did, but the thing is, he didn't, if you get what I mean. It was most definitely on his screen. Another quick play into the A bomb site from TNC hasn't worked out.
I think they need to start slowing a couple of things down at the moment. Don't need to be rushing out like this for now.
Go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, you can still take this out as control, get maybe some secret control if you know the smokes. Don't think they know the smokes, though, so they're going to have to use manpower to cross against Devi. Maybe try taking this ramp control as well, but fast is not going to be working out. Wits does manage to pick up the AWP now.
Like I said though, another buy is possible for TNC. This one features an AWP from Wits. T-side AWPs throughout this series have not had too much impact. But maybe Wits can. If anyone in this matchup is going to, it will be Wits.
It's just boosting up, trying to get Wits in the position where he can potentially counteract against the enemy AWPer. Slowly clearing out the angles. There's going to be 2 in the unders position for FrostFire. Just ticking over the halfway point in this round so far. TNC have managed to get one into Annex, but they don't realize Archap is still at the back of Warehouse. This is definitely a deadly position where he can absolutely nullify a lot of this aggression at the moment because no one's really checking here, but they can also get into Heaven as well. He is going to be executing Kenzie, but kind of putting himself in a bad situation as well because he can't really do anything from this position onwards.
Well, you got to ask, is the risk versus reward enough? Him taking that one frag, is that enough of an impact in the round? It could well be. TNC with 20 seconds left. Need to try and get into the A site. Wits is kind of stuck out here. Has to duel Archap. Great shot with the AK, but A site is more or less taken here for TNC. So bomb's going to go down. Retaking the A site, not going to be so easy.
Yeah, especially if you've got one still trained at Heaven, you might be thinking that there'll still be one close. So this is really up to Papachulo to hold this, and for Pro as well as Borkum, they're holding the floor. Now Borkum only has a Mac 10 to work with as well, which is even worse to be having 2 flashbangs as well. Time.
But he's in such a close angle and up against an AWP. If Chapman misses the shot, most definitely Borkum will capitalize on that. Pro getting one, Borkum another. It's just Borkum left alive, and he's in such a bad position. Devi will clutch it out just in time to get the defuse.
Much better from FrostFire coming in so far in the CT hold, not allowing TNC to really catch them off by surprise, using a few angles, especially Archap, getting that kill onto Wits was absolutely critical. And Wits so far has not been having a hot game. Papachulo looks like he's the one that's really been fragging up for TNC, but you can't be just relying on one person so far. They've got to be stepping up across the board. Now all SMGs out, might be something quick once again from TNC to try and get this control off FrostFire, but Defi is going to be taking that warehouse position now.
Continually being able to force buy into these rounds for TNC is great news because it is keeping the FrostFire economy low, so any round that TNC does win is going to result in a couple more. Thing is though, they haven't won a round in a little while now, so how likely it is that they are going to win one remains to be seen.
They know the economy is low, though, because they've been doing consistent damage, bringing it down to either 1 or 2 people alive at the end of the day. Now, maybe looking to make a play over here at Ramps. Chapman is going to push in and find Wits off timing. Flashbangs are going to come in a little bit too late, and Chapman pushing in out of bullets. Means Papachulo is going to come out and just stop the killing spree, but he's done enough.
Most certainly. Kenzie and Papachulo backing away from ramp. Papachulo knows that lobby even right now is not a safe place. So he wants to do some economic damage. Here's Iman coming on forward, which will result in a kill. But he is completely boxed in right now. Has to fight his way out. There's one. Good trade from Subby. Still not a clean round for FrostFire though.
Still a lot of guns dropped, but at the very least they can... I mean, I'd say they can buy a bit of reprieve, but for TNC, in all honesty, you can probably still force up here at this stage. Buy a bit of armor, buy a few pistols, and get some utility, because you're on that four-round loss bonus. You don't need to be going for so little investment on some of these members. Like, Borkum's able to get a little bit more, Papachulo as well. Wits, if he wants to save the AWP, obviously he wants to be on the eco.
Quickly into the B bomb site, but unfortunately for TNC, that's not the play with the bomb, so it won't result in a free bomb plant. Papachulo, though, can make something interesting happen from here, especially now that one player has gone down, Pro getting that kill.
I reckon just slowing things down from here is going to be absolutely critical. Like you're saying, is that Papachulo's down in unders. If he's able to Pro an Archap who's coming to look for him at the stage.
Nope. Kenzie the one with the M4, though. See what he is able to do. Slow walk onto the A site from TNC. Might likely net them a bomb plant. Pro's going to get it down. Wits with a good trade. AK now for him, and M4 for Pro.
but they're not in good positions. No one's watching Heaven at this stage. A single play coming out from Devi can just pretty much ruin them. That's really solid flashbangs coming out as well from FrostFire and that from that vent position as well as Annex to secure them. That 5-5 tying score line, so this is looking much better and looking much more standard coming out from the CT side of Nuke. You really got to say Archap has been putting in the numbers once again on the CT side, and Devi hitting the shots where it counts as well.
Yeah, but I always just get that sense that TNC is close to winning a round. Money's still not great for FrostFire on the CT side. Again, just the 3 guns through from that last round, and TNC with a very small investment in it. So TNC still have an opportunity here to break that CT money. Slow and steady wins the race.
This is where it boils down for the TNC, where they don't really have the ability to get the Molotovs out or the executes. They have to be clearing out these positions and just training their lines.
Interesting that Pro is the one with the AWP here as opposed to Wits. Maybe Wits just not feeling it here on Nuke.
Not feeling it on the T side, Pro. If he clears this angle, could be a big opportunity. Borkham spotted out though, the trade doesn't come out in time. Chapman, 1, falls away. Good
play.
ramps hold.
The trade's not effective enough there for TNC. Archap catching Wits off. Again from Warehouse. That's a pretty important aim battle though for Kenzie to win. Breaks open the ramp.
But 25 seconds left. Even if they go unders right now, they don't have a smoke really to cover the plant. There's already 2 players under as well. Devi going to be in control room. I think Archap, no, it looks like Archap can be dropping down to vent if he wants to.
Well, TNC have to move quickly now, and unless they hit some blistering shots, they're not going to get this bomb down. Rotation straight away from FrostFire. Kenzie fully flashed out, can't do enough to keep his teammate alive, but Pro actually gets off the plant to get Archap. Still, there's more players where that came from, and FrostFire will put themselves in the lead 6-5. Another round, though, that does come down to the wire. Only 2 alive for FrostFire.
Does come
TNC,
close.
despite not getting the bomb down, can buy through.
Yeah, I mean, that's the 5 rounds kicking forward, right? And for FrostFire, I mean, they're still keeping their hand in it, but all it takes is 1 good TNC round and pretty much the CT economy is reset, and TNC can try to build an economy from there. Still, though, the CT side has been looking very good on the defensive efforts, and TNC not really, once again, having the utilities or knowledge on how to breach in. Maybe we're finally starting to see these secret smokes coming out. There we are. Secret smokes have finally come out from TNC, and so they're able to get in. And that's fine. Like, all you need now is like 2 members to be sitting here. You can try to leverage this A site control instead. But they don't really have it. They're just putting all their eggs in one basket. They're all committing right now into unders, and Chap on the crossfire as well, but 1 for 1 still means that the B site will most likely be lost at this stage. As Defi. Looks like he's been able to make the rotation of Wits Reno. Wits not hitting the shots he needs to. He's been falling off at a critical time for his team. And it's all down now to Papachulo. So Devi from Megaton still peeking in, still looking for the hunt. Papachulo not expecting Devi to be looking for the kill. I mean, is that FrostFire ever so surely are taking this half into their own hands, and TNC, it was a solid start, but they're starting to peter behind.
You've got to remember they are on the T side here, so T side's always been a struggle in this matchup. It's always been a struggle on Nuke. It is the expected result. I think the fact that they've already gotten 5 actually is still pretty reasonable. Pause out here. Potentially tactical from TNC. They're discussing what they'll do with this money. Pro and Wits can't afford AKs, but the rest can. And fairly decent utility to boot.
I think ultimately it's if you're trying to take the secret control at the moment, they're not showing presence anywhere else. That really makes FrostFire scared. And you take a look at the teams that do really well on Nuke. Yeah, they get secret control, but they put 2 people in there at most. And they try to take Squeaky, maybe get 1 person in an event to control the rotations and play the round from there. That's why Nuke is pretty complex to play, in all honesty, from the T side and the CT perspective. Because you can imagine, all right, if there's 2 Ts in secret and then 1 inside vent, where are they... I mean, for the T side, they can execute anywhere. Whereas for the CT side, how are you meant to rotate around and play it? So...
Whoa. Walkham caught off by Archap.
Yeah, Archap's just had enough of this game. And
What's he doing there?
He's just pushing in.
Normally he's at Warehouse. Like, that's not Warehouse. That's the other side of the map.
He's broken.
TNC not happy.
And this is where you know classically as a T side that you've lost, is because you've got 3 people sitting on the T roof doing nothing at the stage. They're not holding lobby, they're holding for pushes. You got Papachulo, who's really the only one, and it looks like Chapman and Archap are just a hunting duo at the moment.
Wow.
And I mean, it's just going to work out perfectly for them. Now it's Subby's turn.
What's wrong, mate? You alright?
Alright, okay, so apparently all the nonsense I was telling about standing still, forget about it. Jump on a ladder. Spray your AK-47. Get headshots anyway. The FrostFire special. Killing people on ladders.
Well, I'm not sure it's enough to even odds. Especially with the position here of Eamon.
Yeah, not if Eamon decides to charge in like that. Hey, I mean, Kenzie's doing pretty well. He's been using his ears, and Defy on the edge of the smoke. Uses it well.
I almost thought Kenzie spotted him there.
Not easy to spot around the smoke. We've got the X-ray.
Yeah, but it looked like he was just sort of peering intently at that smoke.
Eight rounds in a row now for the CT side. Economy's still not established though, which is really showing how much damage that TNC are doing in these rounds, but FrostFire is still able to clean up with 2 or 3 people alive. Archap now also going to be boosted up at the Ramp's position as well, so FrostFire going just to slow down the pushes a little bit. Just going to be forgetting about going in aggressively and trying to take control of TNC.
Not likely that this is going to work, I don't think. Chapman's been pretty good, but he has actually allowed them to wrap a little bit, so under pressure. 2 for 2, now a 3 for 2 favouring TNC. They just got a little bit too far out before the frag came across for FrostFire. This grenade, not enough damage really, and Subbies can't connect enough. 3 versus 1. All 3 on TNC, very low on HP. They have a lot of time to play with.
I want you to fly up ladder right now, Eamon, and just blast their heads off.
Oh, bomb's gone down, and Papachulo, what an angel to win.
So,
TNC on 6.
Yeah, just get CZs and just run at them. Wow, why couldn't we think of that earlier? The rifles fell at the worst time as well, when the CZs are too close. You'd give everything for Chapman as well as Archap to just win those aim deals from solid crossfire, especially when you got Defy also helping you out in a try-away crossfire. But now coming into the final round of the half, FrostFire don't have the most cash to work with in TNC. Now they do. They've got all that they need.
Can they make it 7? That would be the best first half we've seen out of, I mean, in this entire match. TNC already have hit that. They've already hit the best T side so far with the 6. Crazy control attempt of a lobby here from FrostFire. It's kind of worked out in a way that they have that player on the roof, Subbies. Actually can do some damage. Papachulo, though, gets Eamon an important frag. Still to keep it in the 2v1, still to keep it favorable here for TNC.
Kenzie's low, though, and Subbies, if he's able to cross at just the right time and take the same deal against Papachulo, doesn't look like he will be, though. Subbies managing to find his way closer to the site. Oh, no. He didn't spot the head of Papachulo! Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
he
now
spotted
has.
it now, and now makes it winnable. Drops the smoke. It's going to be a full 10-second defuse, but
He'll win this.
Kenzie is going to be making noise. He flicks on just at the right time.
7 for TNC. Great first half of Nuke.
Much better compared to the last games. Much better compared to the last maps. I mean, still scrappy, but like I was saying, at least it's exciting. I'm having fun watching it.
Yeah, that's the difference. Well, TNC. I feel as though they've done enough there. Just based on previous history. But you never know. Always want to see the pistol.
Almost a FrostFire comes in and they show this next
First gun
level T-side play.
Exactly. What happens? FrostFire probably wins. That's probably what happens. But I'd be hedging my bets with TNC right now. Pistol will tell us a lot though. Standard for TNC. We have the defuse kit in the smoke for Wits. Everyone else with the armor. FrostFire with a lot of utility straight into the A bomb site. Very, very quickly. There's a player around silos. Is it Kenzie? Yes, it is. The machine finding 2 kills on the rush to FrostFire. He might have done enough here. The grenade. Fair bit of damage onto Wits and Papichulo, but bombs dropped. TNC aware of it. Borkum's having a duel in lobby with Devi. Does not manage to win that one. But TNC still have control of the bomb.
Yeah, and they managed to take down Slabies as well. So Devi is going to be the last man. It's by himself. 1 of 3 to try to secure the pistols. Got a bit of time. That's too sharp from Pro though. Too sharp.
8 apiece. TNC, however, get that economic boost. FrostFire, no bomb down. They can force into this round with the pistol and armor.
Got a bit of utility as well. Nice. Smoke and flashbang. HE. Maybe a play at Squeaky. Might just be a play at Squeaky indeed. Devi is going to be dropping that smoke and flashbang. They're going to be coming fast out. Kenzie, though, is going to be above them. But hey, watching the wrong direction right now, mate. They're all coming out through hut.
Papichulo and Borkum doing a reasonable enough job of keeping FrostFire busy.
They've just gone unders instead. The dance around.
Fair enough. Bomb down.
Still a chance now, actually, especially if Archap's able to get this kill from Megaton.
Oh. Close angle, CZ. Can see it happening. He'll do that. And meanwhile, Devi finding one. Pro. Making this retake possible, however. Archap down to a one-shot. He can't really cover the bomb there easily at all, especially with this smoke. Pro straight onto the defuse. Papichulo will spot him coming through the smoke. TNC survive. An expensive round for them, however.
Didn't realize Papichulo had 22 kills. I know I was doing well on the T side, but...
Papichulo becoming Big Daddy.
FrostFire at least able to get the bomb plant down, so a bit to work with, and actually doing quite a bit of damage to the TNC economy as well, taking down 3 weapons. It's going to be an investment in M4 for the majority of the players, though, from the Filipino team. Now I might be seeing this full outers take coming out. Wits going to have to be backing off. He's been having a bit of a lackluster game in comparison to his normal standards. Going to have to just compose himself to land these shots.
Good start for Wits. Not a great follow-up, though. Good shot from Devi, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Obviously, TNC at this point wrapping up the round fairly eagerly.
Wow, huge dink, 30 damage.
Huge!
Unimaginable power.
It's unlimited power, Kevin.
I'm too weak.
Thought you were the kind of guy that would know prequel memes.
I'm too weak.
You definitely are a prequel memer.
Hello there.
Yeah.
It's the best times I spent with MC. We catch up weekly about the best, freshest crops known to mankind on the market. So, oh, FrostFire, this is the AK-47's out now.
A bit of utility for FrostFire as well. Just grouping up. A bit toward outer, a little bit in lobby. Fairly nice default setup here for FrostFire as they are starting to control the map quite well. Kenzie needs to be aware of that smoke fading, but he's just not quick enough on the draw, and Archap punishes him for it. Now TNC playing a man down. Another area of the map cleared out as Archap discovers warehouse is empty, but the X factor of Wits with the AWP chimes back in with one. How much more of an impact are we going to be seeing him have here on the CT side of Nuke? If FrostFire continue to go outer, he certainly will have opportunities, but walking out into A main is Eamon. That has not gone well for TNC at all.
Yeah,
just players not covering the angles they needed to be.
Yeah, and that's the economy reset as well. So, I mean, a lot of control given over to FrostFire just to walk out through outers and take Annex pretty much for free. Don't have to even do anything too particularly special to just get that kill on the A-bomb site. And as soon as you get that first one, pretty much it's over.
Yeah, especially when it's just an AWP up in heaven. Like, the AWP can get one, but it's a difficult angle to play with any weapon, really, at the best of times, but the AWP even more so. So, an eco for TNC. Most likely will put FrostFire back in this one at 10 apiece. Still anyone's game here on Nuke. Either team really showing enough on this final map. Not just yet anyway. Decent damage from TNC. Looks like that's all going to be put to bed, however. Papichulo does manage to actually get away. Also gets an AK. Oh. Could have been dangerous for a moment there. Two players lined up. Somebody's hitting a good shot, however.
It's alright, Papichulo, it's going to be here. If he denies the bomb plant, maybe something to work with, but he doesn't deny the drop in vent. So the enemy knows he's going to be in heaven now.
Yeah, did a little bit of damage, but not enough.
Still going to be committing the A-bomb site. Papichulo being played around, toyed around. Nothing he can do. But save.
Saving the AK is not too bad, though. Money's not great for TNC, so any little bit helps. Obviously, they will get a full buy through next round, but you'd much prefer to have an AK than an M4 anyway, so there's also that to consider. Just a waiting game, really, now.
Yeah, 10 apiece.
I think this is still tough to recover from for FrostFire.
I don't know. I think they're making the right moves at the moment, but it depends whether TNC can adapt in time or not. And that's the real question at the end of the day. Pause coming out. Don't know if that's a technical or tactical.
Well, I would not know. Devi has not purchased, however.
That's the loading zone. You need to wear an orange vest to go into there. That's why it's been locked outside the map.
There's a lot of those zones, though.
No.
No.
No. There's a river.
How is that even a good spot for a loading zone, really?
I don't know. I know, it seems pretty dysfunctional, but we've got a silo that you can jump on as well. Clearly not OHS standard designed. The ladders aren't locked down. Like, hello? Who designed this plan?
Well, to be fair, it is a fenced-off facility, so in theory,
still breaching OHS laws, mate.
anyone that should be on this facility should have the proper training.
The question is, do these FBI lads know what the proper training is to climb that ladder? I don't think so. You do not fly up it with two guns or two hands holding into a gun. And Devi,
wow.
He's just charging full Devi at the moment onto the A-bomb site.
Yeah, give me that A-bomb sign, he says, true to his name. 3v4, FrostFire are just going to absolutely smash that A site. TNC now locked away behind the smokes, behind the utility. They maybe don't even want to retake here. They don't have utility. Retaking the A site with an AWP, definitely not fun. Saving is the best option for TNC. That'll put FrostFire back in the lead. Maybe we've underestimated FrostFire here on the T side of Nuke.
They're just coming out fast and making the right reads, whereas TNC, they're not adapting around, they're not dropping the early grenades, and they're not having the guns out to really trade out. You've got a guy running into Annex who's just pulling out his gun before the enemies come out, and Pro might be in a bit of trouble now, trying to dance around and find these headshots. He's able to do so. Now Wits, though, applying quite a bit of pressure on him, but everyone actually dies, so... Yep. All of FrostFire hit the floor. TNC recover 3 guns or keep them forward to the next round, so they're able to try to make something work in this one, but... Like I'm saying, the setup doesn't really give me confidence at the moment, considering FrostFire are just wandering in, just taking, like it seems to be theirs for granted.
Lots more utility for TNC in this round. I wonder if they use it early. That might even be what FrostFire is hoping for with that fast play. Just force TNC to use the utility early in the round in the event that FrostFire could be playing aggressive, but...
I think 100% you need to start using utility a little bit early, because if you get just pushed in like that, because you're not dropping like the regulation nades that you have to do on Nuke, which is a Molotov into Hut and a Molotov into Squeaky at the very least, then you're doing yourselves a big disservice at the end of the day.
Well, we saw how easily FrostFire knocked them over there.
Yeah, I mean, they just walked out. There wasn't an A-site defense. I don't even know where Wits' AWP was, and I don't even think that Archap knew as well. Wits, you can't go there, man. Even you get 1 kill, you just can't go there. This is not the old Nuke where you can bail out. Now they're going to take this heaven control. Papachulo trying his best to equalize the situation. He has to rely on the moral high ground because, well, FrostFire had the higher ground just then.
Yeah, but Papachulo's been so solid here on Nuke. You would have backed him to find a frag there. He actually survives as well, which is even better for TNC. They can retake this site 4v2. Postplane is absolutely shocking for FrostFire. Both stuck in the same position. And they cannot do much with it. Divide with just the 1 frag, but around on the board for TNC. Another one anyway. Bomb does go down for FrostFire, so I want to see how much money they actually come through to this round with. In theory, enough for a buy. Subbies will miss out, but everyone else is looking pretty good there.
Yeah, I just don't really... It's just going in like that. It's just, the call was already made. If you see so many Ts coming forward, you've got to be taking a much safer angle. You can't be going in for that one and done angle that late into the round. But regardless of whatever happened, they managed to retrieve the AWP, managed to make it work out. Now FrostFire, they are going to be forcing into this once again. Trying to challenge for it. We do see a lot more early utility being expended on the A bomb site to make sure that FrostFire can't be pushing out through pretty vulnerable positions, in all honesty. But just mean FrostFire might decide to try this ramp room again. They thought it was pretty weak last time.
Indeed they will. Pop flash through. Borkum evading that one quite easily, but oh my goodness. He just gets deleted. That'll be enough for FrostFire to make their way to the B bomb site. Papachulo there causing a bit of havoc to Archap, but still it is favourable for FrostFire right now. Bombs down. TNC again in a position where they might just look to save.
You have to save here. You don't have enough HP and Papachulo to really go in. Pro, this is... No, stop probing around. Just get out. Good. Wits is already in CT spawn. Alright, okay, so what are you still doing in secret? Get out of there. It's gonna blow. You're gonna have to evacuate.
Well, at least the 3 guns will go through for TNC, but it's a consolation prize. FrostFire are looking pretty decent on the T side right now.
Oh, it's a great entry shot coming from Divine, but some of the rotations are, like TNC, I don't think they fully understand some of the dangers of the rotations they're making. They're getting punished for it, and unfortunately it's coming at a time where FrostFire just going in ridiculously quickly and just making sure they grab this territory before they can second guess themselves, and TNC are just not expecting this lightning fast pace. Getting caught up in it and just dropping down before they can put up a fight. Can get another buy into this though. FrostFire, a bit of cash now built up. Triple nade coming out into Annex, I think. Not going to catch anyone off this time around. Nice try from FrostFire to at least try to change up the pacing.
Yeah, a little bit slower this time than the previous couple of rounds, but that pace has actually been what has worked against TNC. And this is going to give Pro the ability to just have a look into Trophy Room. The backup of Borkum. Quite critical info now that FrostFire are actually setting up for the A take. It's going to allow TNC to float across a little earlier. Papachulo sets himself ready. Kenzie was ready as well. Needs to win that aim duel, and it does. In fact, dancing around the silos. Cleans up all of FrostFire. 12 on the board for TNC. Money starting to look a little bit better now. Not really enough cash this time for FrostFire. I mean, you could go for the 3 AK stack and have the 2 guys on pistols. It's really a gamble.
Much closer game. They are going to be making that gamble. I think it's the correct one. They realize how close this TNC economy is being broken. Both of these sides have been trading rounds back and forth, and no one's really gained a clear advantage just yet. It just feels like they're just slugging it out. It's a war of attrition, a war of endurance right now. They have to give up secret control, though. That means that one of the members, Archap, is already down there with the CZ.
Every single round now becomes important, especially for TNC on that CT side. If their money gets broken at the wrong time, FrostFire might just walk away with the map win here and knock them down into the lower bracket of the SCA closed qualifiers. Eamon opens up onto Pro. TNC in a difficult spot now, but Puppy Chulo once more will be the one to bail them out of it. Kenzie has also been solid on A, but it's 2 versus 2. Bomb is in an awful position for FrostFire, but Archap's in a really good one. Wits will drop.
Yeah, that's
just 1 CT left.
That forces Borkin to be going that long way around into the lobby instead. He has to open up Squeak.
The door's closed.
Yep, and he's not going to go through that pathway, but similarly, Archap. Oh, what a swing around coming in from Archap with the AWP.
Would have loved to have seen that from his perspective.
Yep, but he gets the flick down, and TNC, once again, another punch back and forth. You can see just FrostFire preying on the tiny errors, vice versa. TNC, whatever opportunities they can get, they try to bring it back. It's always going down to potentially a final man. TNC just going to be taking a single eco, but that should be theoretically able to give FrostFire that advantage, that little bit of a lead.
This might be enough for FrostFire to win this map, actually. Assuming they can knock over this particular round, 14-12 would then be up, and that's a precarious position for TNC. Like I said, if you get reset at the wrong time on Nuke, or in any map really, as the CT side will just run away with things. Puppy Chulo, 29 frags, has definitely been the standout for TNC. One playing point in this round as well. We'll take the first contact. FrostFire not really headed in his direction, however, and Kenzie cannot do a whole lot. Puppy Chulo, at least the one, has a Galil now, but walks straight into the crossline of Devai.
Okay.
All of a sudden, though, Wits and Borkum combined for 3.
Right, Wits will hear the drop down though. Divine just making sure no CT's following him. But Borkum, he's going to be going through Megaton, and Wits on the long way around through Secret. Needs to be making a move on. Don't be walking here, mate. Got to be having a bit of a sprint on instead. Got to be trying to assist Borkum, who's making his way quite rapidly in.
There's a smoke, but no defuse kit right now for TNC, so they really need to actually fight their way out of this one, and doesn't look like that's an option anymore. Wits being dropped. Divai with the CZ will close it for FrostFire. 14-12.
Well, I mean, TNC have to win this round convincingly as well. Otherwise, their economy is going to drop too dangerously low, and FrostFire can just force back and try to make it 15. I mean, similarly as well, if FrostFire able to close it out right now, then we could just see an end to Nuke.
Buy is reasonable for TNC, but reasonable is not great. Utility is all but expended for TNC. A few smokes left. But really, this early in the round, and to only have this little utility, not a great sign for TNC.
I need to try to use some of these flashbangs really well, because that's where they have to going to be operating predominantly around as Archap. Going to be trying to get this out of control once again, placing pressure on Wits.
Oh,
as
what?
Kenzie has just walked straight into the line of the AWP. Wit's now trying to dance around. Eamon managed to make his way into Annex, but Archap also walking around the other side. Wit's trying to get out to safety, and he just won't be able to do so. Archap making sure he secures that hunt. And now I think this is the beginning of the end right now as Archap continues the killing spree. Papachulo can't put up a big enough fight this time around. He's on 30 kills, but 30, that's not enough.
Most certainly is looking like the beginning of the end for TNC now. Maybe the end is nigh. So we're up to 15-12. FrostFire now with a fantastic opportunity to close the map out here and now. 16-12. Do not give TNC the opportunity to get back in here. Do not give them that money back in. Don't give them anything. Take this round. Knock TNC down into the lower bracket. That is really the best opportunity now for FrostFire that they are going to get. If they lose this round, obviously we're back to square one. The going gets more tough for FrostFire and they're going to have to deal with gun rounds. But up against just the pistols, UMP there for Kenzie. You can't ask for a better chance for FrostFire now.
I have to say, Devi's been playing really, really well on Nuke so far. 29 kills as well. I don't think we really stated his role, but so far on the AWP, on both the CT and the T side, he's looked so much better compared to what we first saw him in train. Was able to get not the most flashy shots like we saw earlier on Wits, but he's doing his job. He's doing his role. He's getting the kills that he needs, and he's cleaning up. And that's what you want your AWPer to be sometimes, just to clean up role, making sure you secure the tidy rounds. You're getting the opening kill and you're tidying up.
Yep, it's been solid.
Whereas TNC, Wits hasn't really been impressive so far in Nuke. Hasn't had that same kind of magic touch so far. Not really pulling TNC over the line with the AWP so far. Papachulo obviously putting up some good numbers, but unfortunately it's not enough so far. TNC, last chance to try to make a fight happen with the CZs. As for FrostFire, all the AKs as well as the AWP out now. Defy going to be making that initial peek in.
Yeah, one more opportunity here for TNC, which might then lead to another opportunity, but we will find out. FrostFire doing something a little different. A lot of their presence has been toward lobby and the ramp room, but this time going outer. They know TNC don't have the greatest of weaponry, so playing those long angles. Chapman just waiting around to see if there will be a rotation from any of those CTs through CT spawn. As of yet, not too much movement from TNC. It's all FrostFire.
So taking Heaven's control. Pro is probably going to be the first person to be spotting this out, but they're right above him, and he's not going to be able to hear this as well. Chapman, Borkin was pushing in. Might have been too enthusiastic as well.
One down for FrostFire. 4 more to find to close this match out. 2-1 over TNC. There is one more. Subbies drops. 3 left. And only 3 players with pistols. It's not a particularly scary position for FrostFire now. It's TNC just dropping like flies around the map one by one. And Wits, the last alive, coming up vent. Surely not long for this world.
They try to put some damage down. That's about it. 16-12. Finally FrostFire clean up and they take the 2-1 overall. Much better Nuke overall. I mean, in terms of scrappiness, closeness. Got to say, though, the T side looks better for FrostFire than it did for TNC. But TNC's T side was pretty dismal at the end of the day. And their CT side was not fully developed. They just got played around the rotation so hard.
Yeah, the CT side for TNC didn't really ever feel like it kind of got going. There was a brief period there where I felt like, okay, their economies are all right, it's getting there. But then straight away, TNC won an important round on the T, reset the economy, brought it low, and we're back to the same old kind of a situation. But it did take a while to play out this entire series. 16-14 on map 1, the way of FrostFire. TNC, a very, very quick map on Mirage, but Nuke also went quite the distance.
I mean, it was definitely very different compared to our first 2 maps. We say 16-14 on train, but the reality were both 13-2 halves, which is pretty absurd now to think about it, because both of these teams on the CT side definitely struggled. TNC played well earlier on. I don't know what else to say, though, is that ultimately I think the CT side let TNC down. They didn't have enough experience, I think, playing or understanding how to play it with the rotations, how to stop FrostFire from getting certain map territories, and they got exploited on the fast takes too many times for them to really do anything. And at the end of the day, Nuke is so important, trying to take the squeaky or this around the squeaky area. Didn't really see any teams emphasize the squeaky area or this vent area and secret, because if you don't have the secret control from both sides, you can see how easily you can exploit the unders as well as the A-bomb site. We saw FrostFire multiple times take Heaven, take Warehouse, and similarly, TNC were unable to do the same. They couldn't really take this because Archat was an absolute nuisance in Warehouse. He'd rotate around and make sure that TNC could just never go anywhere comfortably.
Yeah, well, TNC haven't quite done enough today to keep themselves in the upper bracket, but we saw earlier on, Boot Dreamscape were able to get a fairly solid win, 2-0 over Rekka, and so it's going to be Boot Dreamscape and obviously FrostFire just there being able to pick up their victories respectively in the upper bracket, but it's only day one. And for the teams that did end up losing, that being Rekka and TNC, it's not the end of the road just yet. This is a double elim bracket, so you've still got at least one more best of 3 to play. Quite a long road, but from what we saw there from FrostFire, I still don't think they're quite at the same level as what Boot Dreamscape are. I'm still quite comfortable with my statement saying that Boot Dreamscape should have a fairly clean time through these qualifiers.
Like theoretically, if everything goes according to plan, that Boot Dreamscape don't get caught off by anyone going absolutely huge. We saw what happened, I think, this at the previous qualifier, right? Signature Gaming, there was a guy named Genius that dropped a 40 against them. Yeah. There are these things that do happen. So if that does happen, Boot Dreamscape can drop down. But it's just really rare to do so. Yeah,
definitely. And Kevin, we were talking earlier about how you were going to go home and have a bit of a chill time.
Yeah.
You know, remind you where you need to go to chill. ESEA, of course.
Okay, I was about to say, it's ESEA, right? This is not a trick question.
This is not an MSI, this is an ESEA.
Yeah. You could have bamboozled me sometimes. You could have thrown a spanner in the works, so...
No, jump on play.esea.net and check it out, pugs and all that jazz. Also a good way to get through into ESL Pro League. You know, practicing against the best players and that kind of thing. And obviously, you're going to have to get used to that if you want to have a career in Counter-Strike. Like a lot of what these teams are looking for at the moment, it's always sort of a semi-professional region here in Southeast Asia. But another opportunity for these guys to go overseas and everyone battling it out for that.
Yeah, and ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, you still be favouring Boot Dreamscape. They've got the strategies, they've got the experience, they've got the tactics. The question is now, are any of these teams going to learn from the experience is a real question.
And if Boot Dreamscape are the ones that do come out from SEA, are they going to be able to do a whole lot against the winner of the Chinese qualifiers?
I don't think so just yet, because they're still integrating 2 members in, right? I mean, Bobaslaw's been around for a while, but you say he's like a legendary 6th member, so...
Yeah. Well, we were talking about how things have played out today. Let's give you a bit of a graphical representation of how things have gone. It was Lucid Dream to get the 2-0 over XCN. Beyond and Signature still have yet to play by the looks of things. So they'll be facing FrostFire. The winner of that matchup will be. But things progressing along fairly nicely. Don't think that there's any huge surprises. I guess you probably would have lent a little bit on toward TNC in this matchup against FrostFire, but it was always going to be a bit of a closer one. The interesting one really is Beyond versus Signature. We talked about that a lot. Those 2 teams from the same region and a couple of players from Signature going to Beyond, so a bit of a grudge match there.
Just a little bit. I mean, you always want to be trying to show yourselves as the top dog inside the region, and a Lucid Dream on the upper side of the bracket as well. Tough matchup against Boot Dreamscape. I mean, for Lucid Dream, they've been putting on some consistent performances over the year, obviously, but once again, I don't think they're up to the same standard. Dreamscape are the outstanding team here for a reason at the end of the day. They've got the fundamentals to carry them through for most scenarios. I don't think they'll be caught out by surprise. They've got the hunger in them once again. It's been a bit of a decent break. I think that defeat against Vindicta for the WESG qualifiers has really put a new, I guess, boot up their butt, because they realize, all right, why are we losing to teams that we shouldn't be losing? Let's actually focus on improving ourselves.
It's always funny to see like a team that's always been considered the top team in their region for such a long time. You sort of, you know, you look at Boot Dreamscape for the Singapore region or MVP for Korea, that kind of thing, going up against one of their domestic teams and actually losing that match, because it's kind of one that they should end up winning with their eyes closed almost. It feels like, at least. Because
I don't know, Styrone is pretty good. He's like 17 apparently. I've played with him before and he's good.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like they play against those guys so often and they beat them so often that to see them actually lose is a bit of a surprise. But anyway,
It is a bit of a surprise, but at the same time, like they do a lot of work. It does happen. They do a lot of work trying to promote these guys as well. As far as I know, a lot of the Vindicta guys are friends with the players from Boot Dreamscape, and I wouldn't be surprised that sometimes that maybe some of the Boot Dreamscape guys try to give a hand to some of these younger players, the less experienced ones. And I mean, all you need is a good day in Counter-Strike. You're doing a couple of the right things, you get the timing right, and all of a sudden you pull off an upset.
Yep.
Got to be feeling good about that.
Oh, we've been talking about how these teams want to go through to the finals, how they want to go overseas. Speaking of those finals, they'll be in Odense again. We were there a couple of seasons ago, but December 7th to 9th will be the dates for the finals here in Season 8. And I wonder who our representatives are going to be from the Asian region and from the ANZ region.
Just wondering how you meant to pronounce that. Is it meant to be Sparekassen or Sparekassen?
I don't know for sure. If it was German, I could give you a better indication, but I would assume it's be Sparekassen? Sparekassen? I don't know.
So many questions. Not enough answers.
Not enough answers. Well, we might have the answers for you next time. For now, though, that's going to be the end of our broadcast. Do stay tuned, though. We'll be back tomorrow with more qualifiers for the Asian region, though it is going to be China tomorrow. So some different teams, but definitely some exciting games. Don't miss it. We'll see you tomorrow.